study biblical geography, you can assume that this is the place, mga kapatid. And this is very significant in the life of Joseph the Dreamer. So do you know Joseph the Dreamer in the Bible? So how can we connect that national part to the life of Joseph? So as the video told us, it is the spice and incense route, right? So with that, let's connect the passage in the Bible. So Joseph, as a summary, his brothers were jealous about him and they put him in the pit. But suddenly there came a caravan. If you can, by the way, in other terms, this is not only the spice route, this is also the caravansary route. The caravans of camels that brought the spices and the incense. Now here we go. Okay, why we say this is connected to the life of Joseph? Because this is the only route going to Gaza and going to Egypt. So listen carefully in the passage, Genesis chapter 37 and then verse 23. And it came to pass when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him, and they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, there was no water in it. Where is this place? This is in Dothan, in Samaria, in the northern region of Israel, the capital kingdom of the 10 kingdoms. So it's very far from this place, around 150 kilometers away. So that's very far. Let's continue. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels, and listen to this, bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. So you see, this is the station. In all this wilderness, going to Gaza and going to Egypt to carry this very important spices, you have to stop in this place or else you're going to die in the wilderness, because the camels, they could not carry tons of water for your support along the journey. So they have to stop here in this station before they continue. And then let's continue. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit. And he rent his clothes and returned unto his brethren, and said, the child is not, and I, whither shall I go? So what's the point? So the caravans from Gilead, they passed through Dothan. So when the brothers of Joseph saw these caravans, instead of letting him die there in the pit, they sold him, and these caravans is going directly to Egypt to sell their spices and anything that they trade. And along with that, they purchased Joseph upon the selling of his brethren. So all the way from Dothan, the caravans stopped over in this place, and Joseph was with them. And then the caravans continued to Egypt until they sold Joseph in Egypt. And we know the story. He became a servant in the house of Potiphar, but God blessed him. And then he was accused of raping the wife of Potiphar, so he was imprisoned. But God never forsake Joseph, and he blessed him in the prison. And then later on, the chief butler and the chief baker was imprisoned also. Also, they have a dream. Joseph interpreted it, And to make the long story short, later on, the Pharaoh have a dream of 7 fat cows and the 7 lean cows along the Nile River, and only Joseph interpreted the dream. So what happened in the end? He was promoted as the second most powerful person in the land of Egypt. And later on, his brethren go in Egypt, and the rest is history. Joseph was so blessed by God. You see, from the time going here, it could, you know what? Sometimes you're going to pass in way of trials and hardships in life. But don't focus on those roads. We don't know the destination. It could be in the end of your journey, there's a blessing ahead of you. So don't judge the present circumstances. Just wait on God's complete history for your life. Yes? Go in English. What's that? Jacket. May nakaiwan sa inyo ng jacket?
Hindi ko kinuha yung
Alright. So, ayun no? Nawala tuloy tayo. Hindi talaga magaling tumiming itong mga to. So, as I told you mga kapatid, don't judge your present situation right now. Don't judge your present circumstances. You don't know the end of this journey. Diba? You don't know the end of this journey. It might be God is preparing a wonderful chapter of your life after hardships, after sufferings or long journey. And in the end, God will gonna bless you. Just keep on trusting in the Lord and be faithful to Him forever. Like Joseph, he remained faithful unto the Lord. So, welcome to Abdat National Park. Let's begin our journey. Like a caravan going up to the mountain. Yala!